It wasn't too long ago that I talked about why it's hard to be a Nintendo fan and why the Switch has a lot of people kind of rooting for its failure. But a common theme when people finally pick up the device and try it for themselves is that there's just something different about this device. A lot of detractors will note that there's not a whole lot different about what the Switch does on the Go in particular that other devices haven't done before. In fact, a lot of people will say it's basically equal to other portable-like devices, including the fact that it has big console-quality games, and that it's always been there, and that there's really no difference with Switch other than the fact that it's a Nintendo system. But I feel like that's doing the Switch a disservice. Not because there hasn't been attempts at console quality like games on the go. We especially know with the PSP and the PlayStation Vita that Sony and their partners did attempt to really maximize console gaming on the go, at least to the best of their ability. But something's different with Switch, and I think all of us that own one might even have a hard time pinpointing exactly what it is. But Nintendo knew what they were doing. Now, they sometimes have gotten flack from some Nintendo fans for doing what I'm about to talk about, but it turns out to be a brilliant move and is quintessential to the Switch's reputation of being this amazing, never-before-seen playing home console games on the go device. And it all started when the system was unveiled in October of 2016. So what did they do? They branded the console in a way that it was one of those things where it's a home console you take on the go, not a portable system that you can happen to play on your TV. And I realize this is a point that is often refuted and argued about online when we're talking about why a game has to make sacrifices to run on Switch. We have to remember it's mobile technology. It's using a mobile chip. It's a tablet that plugs and plays with your TV, blah, 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 blah. But reality is the marketing for this system is telling consumers something completely different. The marketing is saying, no, this is your under TV box that you could just lift and take with you anywhere. And it's a very important message that Nintendo hammered home when they unveiled the system in October of 2016. So go back to that reveal. They picked up the Switch out of the dock at the very beginning after watching someone play Breath of the Wild on the TV. And this is extremely important because Nintendo just spent all of E3 2016 hyping up Breath of the Wild as the next big Zelda game, the next big high-quality AAA console action-adventure game, and won a ton of awards for it. It was a risky move to make their E3 all about one game, but it worked. They maximized the potential of Zelda's marketing, and that led into leading off unveiling the Switch with Breath of the Wild. This amazing home console, high-quality game that this guy's playing on his TV, and then suddenly he picks up the Switch to take his dog on a walk, and he's playing the exact same game on the go. And it's like, wait a second, that huge, awesome experience I saw at E3 2016, I could take that with me? Whoa. Then they followed that up with Skyrim, right? I know, an older port. We all know why it runs well on Switch, but it's one of the biggest AAA, open world games in recent memory over the past 5 years. Came out in 2011. It's a well-known property, definitely associated with AAA gaming, definitely associated with PCs and home consoles. And here is somebody playing it on the go, playing it on their TV, playing it on the airplane. Just boom, just really blowing your mind. They followed that up again with games like Mario Kart 8 and NBA 2K and 3D Mario and Splatoon. All of these games traditionally known as high-quality AAA products. And as all of these games have now come out, we know that these are high-quality AAA products that weren't really cut back to run on Switch. Yes, we don't have mods on Skyrim. Yes, NBA 2K18 runs at 30 FPS instead of 60. But beyond that, we have the full console quality game on our Switch to play on our TV and on the go. Now, this was furthered in the January presentation, which admittedly did detract a little bit when they were focusing on HD Rumble and some other stuff. And it was a very, very Japanese-focused event. I mean, it did happen natively in Japan. So I guess that almost should have been expected, but it didn't really temper expectations, because once people got their hands on Switch, once it was in their hands and they were playing Zelda on the go and Mario Kart on the go, and even if they didn't start playing it on the go, they played it docked and then decided, you know what, I'm going to try to take this thing with me on a trip, or when I'm on the bus, or when I'm going to the bathroom. And suddenly, Mario Kart, Zelda, Splatoon, Skyrim, LA Noire, Doom, you pick that bad boy up and you're taking that experience with you, and you realize as you're looking down at it and enjoying it that the experience hasn't really changed from when you were playing it on your TV just moments earlier. It's like this explosion in your brain of amazement. And people to this day are still amazed when they see console quality games running on Switch, because it wasn't so long ago that people thought this wasn't possible. And again, this is unfair to PlayStation Vita. This is unfair to the PSP. This is even unfair to the 3DS, which, while it didn't have HD visuals and all that, was getting games that were becoming bigger and bigger, with worlds that are bigger and bigger. I mean, let me just put it this way. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out on Switch, right? Fantastic game, huge. The original Xenoblade Chronicles that released on Wii, that came to the new Nintendo 3DS. So it's not new to have console quality kind of games on a portable platform. But this just feels different, because everything felt like a sacrifice before. It felt like you were sacrificing everything to have those game portables. Xenoblade Chronicles on new Nintendo 3DS, great, awesome, very, very blurry, doesn't run as well. It's missing the big screen experience. But with Switch, you can have that big screen experience if you want it, but you can have almost the exact same experience in terms of gaming on the go. And this is why Switch is really hitting an accord, I think, with lapsed gamers. I guess we'll just call it the lapsed gamers market, the adults that have kind of had to step off of gaming a little bit. They might own their PlayStation 4s and gaming PCs and Xbox Ones or 360s and PlayStation 3s or even the Wii. They might own these systems, but they find themselves not playing them very often because life is too hectic. But then here's this system that comes that advertises itself as, this is a home console, but watch what happens when you take it out of the dock. It's a mind-blowing moment when that happens for people. Even people who had never docked it, it's just mind-blowing to them that they are playing these games on the go. That you are playing LA Noire on the go. You are playing Yooka-Laylee, a recent release that has struggled to run well on certain platforms, running better on Switch and on the go. The fact that Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is heading to Switch next year, and you could play what is likely going to be a super smooth experience based on Doom on the go. This is just an amazing concept that has really led to the Switch garnering this reputation that maybe is unfair to the prior systems that have existed on the market, to the predecessors that led up to the Switch existing. And I don't want to take credit away from the Vita or the PSP or even the Wii U with that off-TV play. The 3DS, being able to run games like Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't want to take credit away from those platforms. Heck, Hyrule Warriors was ported to it from the Wii U, if we want to go with something more recent. Smash Bros. Came out on 3DS as well, on Wii U. But there's something different about what they are doing now with Switch. And it's a perception. It's an experience and a perception that makes you feel like you are no longer having to sacrifice your games to take them with you on the go. And we know realities you are sacrificing. Sometimes you're getting sub HD, 600p instead of 720p. Sometimes you're not getting the same amount of frame rates or the same visual effects or the same shadows. We all know the technical aspects of the Switch and the limitations of it. But when you're playing those games on the go, it's like it all goes away, because the game still feels like the game you know and love that you play on your TV or on your computer monitor. And that's what's so brilliant. That's why there are so many PC enthusiasts that are praising Doom on Switch, because of what that game represents to them. And it's amazing that these games are just, they're everything we want them to be. So now what? What's next for the Switch? I don't know. But all I know is in 2017 and probably 2018, it's going to continue to impress people. It's going to continue to be that system that, well, no, it's not a PlayStation 4 or a PlayStation 4 Pro or an Xbox One X pushing 4K visuals to your TV and taking maximum advantage of your HDR and all the new features that are out there that gamers enjoy and love. Or even, the 1 ms response times on PC games and stuff. It's not going to be that. But once you take these console quality games on the go with a massive first-party studio fully backing it with everything they got, including now Pokemon, it's almost game over. And I feel like the big difference here is that Nintendo themselves has not backed off of their marketing shtick, right? They are still pushing the Switch internally as a home console. They are making their portable games now for the platform bigger and better than ever to match home console expectations. This is Nintendo at their best. This is Nintendo recognizing a need in the marketplace, not a need that's never been served before, but a need that's never been served in this way, where the platform holder treats this thing like it's a home console. Sony made a lot of mistakes when it came to the PlayStation Vita because they still had the PlayStation 4. They still had the PlayStation 3 even. Those were their home consoles. Vita was never really a true home console to Sony. They didn't treat it like that, even as they advertised it as console quality gaming on the go. But they didn't treat it like that. Nintendo is treating this platform like it is a home console. Because it is. Anyways, folks, I am Nathaniel Rufflejans from Nintendo Prime. If you like this video, you know what to do. And if you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. Subscribe for more content. And I'll catch you in the next one.